EBS TV, television reloaded.
An Edo Broadcasting Service reaching you from Benin, Edo State, Nigeria. All right, this one we'll be looking at drugs, the effects, the causes, and as I promised earlier, we have some personalities with us who will be speaking on this, and we will taking it from the side of what should mothers do in curbing this excessive drug abuse in our city and our beloved country. I'm Josephine Eyinge, and with me this morning to discuss on drug abuse, we have Pastor John Osifo once again. Thank you for coming.
I'm very grateful.
All right, Pharmacist Grace Ereme, she's the chairperson Association of Lady Pharmacists at the State.
Thank you.
I got that there now.
Yes, you got me.
Yeah. And we have Dr. Mrs. Caroline Olumese. Thank you, man, for coming.
Thank you.
All right, we're looking at drug, its effects, and how did we get here? I don't know how true it is, but pharmacists, maybe you'll be in a better position to let me know. Somebody said Nigeria is one of the countries that abuse drug more in the world. Is that true, pharmacist Jeremiah?
I think they got this information, they got this drug abuse. It's even from outside the countries. They watch it through the TV and see what they are doing, and then they come and copy and do it. And that's why it starts spreading.
And my question is that Nigeria as a country, we abuse drug in the world more than any other country. That the intake of drug here in Nigeria is more than any. Do you have that information to tell us?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. Maybe we'll pass because I heard there's a hearsay, but I want to be sure concerning that. But let's come home first of all, talking about drug and the roles of mothers in ensuring that drug abuse is brought to the purest meaning. Dr. Caroline Olumese. If you go to some schools right now, secondary schools, even some primary schools, some children have started taking drugs. And there was a time in Abuja, they were selling cookies laced with drugs. So, how do we start this fight? Should we start fighting it from while they are still babies, or from our home, or where do we start this fight from?
I would say from the womb.
Okay.
That's where the mothers take. So what you take into affects your child. There was one cartoon I saw. The mother was smoking and the child inside his womb too was also with a cigarette smoking. So that that tells volumes. So the woman, the pregnant woman, that's why I say women are very important. They are the gateway and they are the link between the fathers and the children. So the women, even at pregnancy, you should watch what you're taking. That's you taking what the doctors prescribed for you. So that's where it starts. So when the women that are pregnant start abusing drugs, what I would like to, it affects that child psychologically. Okay. That's the truth of the matter. So for me, it starts from the womb. Then when you now deliver, you start again from there. What you give to your child, what you introduce. That's why I said train up a child in the way he should go. So mothers have it, because mothers are more attached. There's a bond between the mother and the child. So she has a very great role to play. So it starts from pregnancy.
Gatekeeping.
Yes, they are the gatekeepers. We are the gates. We are the one that bring life, bring forth into the children out. The first thing that comes out is through the women. So we are the gates. So we are very important. So that's why we must play a very good role. Because when the chips are down, they will say the mother of this, the mother of this. So women, I want to advocate that please try. That's why I said don't be too busy and become guilty. Don't be too busy to forget this blessing that God has endowed us with. We should bring them forth, nurture them in the fear of the Lord, do our part before they go to school. I know peer group influence is there and all that, but you start, the charity begins at home. Let's start by telling them. Some of our pastor, we know, some of us still remember what our parents taught us. And we hold on to those things, very important values. What are we now doing with this new generation? That's the problem. I'm sure my moderator will remember some things your parents or your mother taught you. They are there. People don't play with it. They will tell you they told us don't borrow. They told us you must not do this. And it still sticks to tomorrow.
Contentment.
Yes. yes, godly. They say contentment is godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with covetousness is a great loss.
Okay. Reverend Pastor John Osifo, you are into this committee, Edo State Drug Committee.
Edo State Drug Control
Committee. And you people have been visiting schools, you've been going to places, sensitizing people for advocacy and whatever. But I want to ask, though you're not a psychiatrist, but at least you get involved with these children, you talk to them one-on-one. What are the reasons why kids would like to take this substance? They want to abuse substance. Let us just put it drugs. They call it substance because they can miss anything. So what are the reasons from what you've gathered, from the information you gathered from your going out to meet them? What are the reasons children abuse drugs, or even adults abuse drugs?
Their influence is one of them. Availability is also one of them. What they see their colleague or their classmate do, because they see their parents doing it, they also get involved. Some of them, they want to run away from certain issues. Some of them are set up by their parents, especially when those parents are set up over high standard for their children. That's what it will be when they are not, when those children don't have the capacity. There's so many things that are involved. What they see, and you see this terrible adverts on televisions and radio, glamorous in nature, yet it is not so. I have a very good friend who is into advert. He neither smoke or drink, but when he wants to collect his money, just hold a cigarette in his hand. And you think that is what makes it. It's not what makes it. It's just on his own. He lives his own life, and he's a very humble young man, but he's a handsome young man, so they use him for advert. These are some of the things that these children say. And you see, there is no problem today, in this, especially in the secondary school or the school system, there is no problem or issues in the thing that is negative, that is not associated with drugs. Is it courtesy, exam malpractice, bullying? Just name them. All these issues are associated because openly you see it. You just said something now. I wanted to just tell you that if I talk from government point of view, it's not true, because Nigeria is not the worst country when it comes to drugs. But even then, the government is trying everything within their power to make sure we don't have drugs in our system. That is just it. And you know, the secondary school or the primary school we are talking about, we don't really know where to start. My bishop said, go start from the womb. Just start from the womb, whatever you give to them. So this assessment is valuable. You can get any of this drug. And so many years ago, we were talking with the forces, some of our agencies, especially the NDLA. We're telling them that somehow you are people that caused this problem, because a time in this nature, no drug. All we're having in this nation at the beginning was just a triangular trade. They go to South America, bring the drug to Nigeria, from Nigeria take it back to America, because as at that time, the Americans and Europe, they knew that we don't have drugs here. In fact, today, the only drug that is produced and manufactured is cannabis. All others are imported and then transported. At a point, our agency said, okay, we will allow these people to bring this drug, they cannot take it out. You allow them to bring it in, they cannot take it out, then they look for local market for it. When I was in Lagos, there's one small room I know very well, whether I sit there or not. If I just hold, as at that time, if I just hold 100 naira and put it in that room, in that window, I will come out with drug. Collect my 100 naira, put something in my hand. It's so clear, so clear. It's too available.
Okay, all right, thank you. Concerning them and drug abuse that Nigeria, like you said, yes, say drug abuse can also be you taking drugs without doctor prescription. So we should let that be clarified, because if you go to some other countries, they get access to health care, and but Nigeria, sometimes before you get health care, you have to go through some hard also. So people just go to anywhere to get drugs. So I will still make findings concerning that Nigeria is one of the countries that abuse drugs all over the world. We will do that also. So I just have to clarify that concerning drug abuse, and it's not too far from what I also observed. Man, just hold on, because if you have malaria, instead of going for tests, you just go and buy everything and start. That's drug abuse also. And it also has its effect apart from the other one. All right, thank you so much, Pastor John Osifo, pharmacist, Ereme, talking about drugs. He said something about the availability of this, up to even lacing it with cookies. You see, some put cake, they use cake, all the small snacks, they put it. I want to ask again, what is your association doing? Apart from coming to television, what else are you doing to ensure that people are not abusing drugs in the society?
Okay, thank you very much. Our association, over the years, we have passionate about this drug abuse, so advocating. We go to schools, we talk to the children, the effect of these drugs. We have been going to schools for this year now. We've been going to different schools, telling them about drug abuse, telling them about the effect of the drugs. And now our association, we're also planning, still on pipeline, trying to make a seminar for the mothers. We want to get the mother involved, let them know the importance of these drugs, the effects. And that's why we are advocating. We are going around. In fact, we are concerned about the children and the mothers. The mother needs to know and the children need to know. So we get involved. We are just talking to them.
Okay. Do you visit marketplaces?
Yeah, that's our next plan. It's already, we discussed it in our ESCO the last time. The next meeting, because we have gone to children, we have gone to schools. So the next place is the marketplace, of which we are also planning to go in maybe the next few months. That's our first target this next year.
Okay, you wanted to add something towards
yes, he said that you were asking when he went to school, what are some of the reasons? And you said setting standards. Yes, as I want to talk to parents, if you know your child, that's why you should, from childhood, you should know what they are good at. If they are good at disassembling and recoupling, he might be an engineer. Somebody that is not caring, cannot be, or have passion, cannot be a doctor or somebody in medical. So don't push them. Most parents, you want to become a doctor, whereas the child does not have the brain to become a doctor. Maybe it's an artist or is a footballer. Just let go. Just let him find his way, because we find fulfillment there. And don't compare. Some parents will start comparing, showing favoritism, and that's why one killed the brother. I read it, killed the brother that is a medical doctor, because they will always say you are useless. This is the good one. They were putting a conion on this. So when he grew up, he waited and he killed. They said he killed the brother on the day of graduation as a medical, as a doctor. So parents, please don't push your children. Find out from youth what they are able to do, and let them find their course there. They might not become a footballer, might become a millionaire and have more money than you are pushing to become a doctor. And he cannot, the capacity is not just there. So let's not push our parents. Then talking about her own too, availability, I think there should be control. Because if there's no control, there's going to be there will be problems. So these drugs, when they come, anyone that is in overseas, like prescription only, you have prescription only medicine. That means you cannot give these drugs except prescribed by a doctor. But unfortunately here, sometimes it's not
behind
like that.
The counter, you just get
okay. So if that law is put and everybody sticks to it, when you come, there's some like this tramadol that people have, it's supposed to be a prescription. When they come, ask, where's your prescription? There's no prescription. You don't sell it for the person. I don't know. I'm just saying. I know it's going to be difficult, but that's one way of coping, so that we save our children from the disaster. Because they take these things so that they become high, so that they will not fear anything. They can't dare anything. They dare the devil self. So that's why that's one of the major reasons, so that they will be bold. That false boldness. Let me put it that way. And when the thing clears, they will come back to normal. So let's tell them the truth that this is just temporary. You will go back to normal. So why don't you just leave this thing and do the needful and do the right thing?
All right, we find out that some mothers, I'm staying with you, they are the ones selling these wraps, cannabis. You see some women with children, they are at different corners in the city, and they are into this business and they are making money from it. And we're talking about mothers ensuring that children don't abuse drugs. Why some of them are into the business, some will even put it in different bottles. You see them, they'll carry it, you think that maybe it's for malaria or whatever. But some of them, you miss them and they call it monkite. And most of these people, women are the ones involved. So what can be done to ensure that we sanitize this if we want to do this fight? Those women selling it to make money to survive also.
Okay, so you see, money is the Bible really says the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's to make money, that is So I think if you want to stop something, then you must give that's my own, must give an alternative. If you don't give an alternative, we go back to that tree. So I think we should empower these women or whoever and give them jobs, give them good things. Tell them, if you tell them this is bad, then make sure that we have an alternative for them to do so that they will not go back there. Is this search for money? Everybody's hustling, hustle. Is the hustling that making people do what they wouldn't have done under normal circumstances, including selling monkey tail or whatever. So when we tell them that this monkey tail you are selling can kill many people, please stop it. Let's get you another thing to be doing that is more honorable, so to say. I think that will go a long way. But when they don't have any other alternative, someone will say, man, we have to also, man have to survive. That's what they say. Especially in this.
So we'll tell you out of this are trained doctors and engineers.
So if you don't give them alternative, it's a very complex. All of us have a role to play.
Pastor John Osifo, yeah, I want to say it again because you see me reiterating Edo Drug Control Committee.
Drug Control Committee.
How do you now control these women that are involved in this kind of business? You are in the committee. We want to sanitize this state. You go to car parks, motor parks. You see them thinking that is agbo. How do you differentiate? This one is agbo for the health of the body. This one is the one that will damage the body as part of the committee.
Well, the Edo State Drug Control Committee has membership over 30 representing different organizations. NDLA, NAFDA, police, name them, all the immigration, name them. Even patent medicine, the last, even people from this year that is about rounding up, our itinerary, what we just decided to do was to go to school. Then the next day we said, after school, what is the next one? What we want to do now is to involve the community outreach. In fact, we have a program lying down now, which we want to execute first quarter of the year, to reach every motor park in the city.
Okay.
So that it's not very easy. My Dr. Olumese says so. It's not really very easy. If you see us talking about drug abuse or drug misuse in school, we always talk about alternative. What is the alternative? We are aware of some certain states, Ondo, need them in the western part of Nigeria. They are very good at production or cultivation of cannabis. Government have helped them to change their crops, give them other crops, pay for it, make sure they don't go. I think those state government is also thinking in that line. At the time we reach the park and be able to discover it, it's not very difficult to know. There's something I used to tell people. When I was in the service, we were taught treasury. In the treasury department, when we were being taught, they show us original currency. In the period you are going to spend in the training school, you only see original currency. You don't see fake currency. As by the time you leave this training school, when you see fake currency, it's very easy to know. The same thing with drugs. It's very easy to know the drug that is containing one thing or the other. There are some experts, especially the NDLA and NAFDA, who knows, even without going to the lab. At a particular stage in my life, if I see powder, may smell, I will tell you this is cocaine, this is heroin. These are designable. For you to add Magister to Lacasara, it's very easy, designable. They are making you high. They are all over the place. So it's very designable. Just because we are talking from outside, that is why it looks as if it is clumsy. Not really clumsy. It's easy to know that what
it can be controlled.
Yeah, it can be controlled. It's just for somebody to get there, give them the right information, say the one we can. Like for example, in the committee, we don't get involved in arrest. We can rehabilitate. If we see people that are involved in drug, we really want to come out of it, we send you to the hospital and even pay hospital bills.
Okay. A lady pharmacist talking about, he said something about so we miss Lacasera and Maggie Cube, different mixture in the society. I'm wondering how do they come in contact with such a practice? Is it that the pharmacists are helping, or how do people just know that when you miss this and miss this, you become high, you do this, you become high, when they are not trained? What do you think happened in this area?
That is why when is this influence, somebody have done it before. Somebody just did it, and you said, okay, when I took this thing, I was very high. Somebody just got that information, said, let me try it. And when you try and you succeeded, you tell your other friend. You try, you tell your other friend, and then you start seeing it spreading. Somebody used this to treat himself. You are using it to treat yourself. And then every drug or every substance have side effects, it has the benefits. Not that you say the benefit outweighs the risk. So when your benefit outweighs, you say you use it for the pain. And when this person gets well, that person say, when I use it that time, look at the side effects of this. And they now go and start using the effect of that substance. And then they start using it as what will make them to be high. And then when they start using it, they forgot that there is danger after the effect.
And also some drugs, they will write there. Maybe you say don't take when you are pregnant. So that means when you take that drug, it will cause abortion. So some people will now use that, or they will go and use, since they say don't take when you are pregnant, they will use this that side to do abortion. I don't know.
So that's how they using it for abortion because they already heard that the side effect of this drug is
it can abort the fetus.
And then
this is a very big deal. There's a time it's in the House of the National Assembly, or some persons were pushing for the legalization of cannabis. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
That even let me come to you. That the chairman of the NDLEA, Marua, was screaming that they should not legalize cannabis, that we have enough drug in the society, and legalizing it will make the country go bonkers. So what's your take whereby some persons are pushing for the legalization of cannabis?
As long as we'll be pushing for legalizing or delegalizing or illegal, legal, even, you see, as we have, let's just go a little bit further. As we have oil here in Nigeria, that is how cocaine is to some countries. So those one will push for legalization. But here in Nigeria, anybody that is pushing for legalization of cannabis is a criminal in the first place.
Okay.
It's already terrible. We couldn't cope with ordinary cigar. Do you know what is written in a cigarette packet? That this thing kills. I'm not talking about something hidden. It's no longer what they used to write, smokers will die young. Now they will just write it boldly. This cigar kills. If you just look at the packet of cigarettes, they will even go further. That you see heart, dirty heart, and the one dirty lungs, and the one that is clean. That will be one of them for the smokers, one of them is non-smoker. So if these things are there, that is sometimes we need to go a little bit further to define drug abuse and drug misuse. Drug misuse simply means you are taking this drug either overdose or underdose. But when it comes to abuse, that means you know the consequences. You know the consequences already, yet you committed suicide. That is the major difference. You are aware that this drug will kill you. You are aware that Morocco will send you to a mental home, yet you still carry on the perform out. So never, anybody that support. Not because I'm talking on behalf of government or outside government. Anybody that support issue of legalizing cannabis is a killer.
Some persons will tell you, for instance, they'll thank you for that. Some people will tell you that cannabis, for instance, it has its own health benefit that is good for. Some will say, I don't know whether it's proven medically, that is good for the treatment of cancer. It helps to reduce the pains. So that's why some persons are pushing for it. So can we just help to balance
I will just talk about that briefly for my because they are pharmacists. I'm not a pharmacist. We query doctors and pharmacists long time past. We query them that if there is issue with drug abuse, you started it because of availability. But we thank God that today they are educated. Then the issue, there is no drug that does not have positive benefit. Not even one single one. And that is why you have some of them are controlled. They are put under control. Before you import them, you have to take license and you have to tell government the reason you are looking for it. If you talk about cannabis, it has its own medical benefit. But the abusers, the users, are they using it for that purpose? The young man that is just in the street, in the open afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, with wrap of long
in
cannabis.
The morning,
is that one killing pains or what? He just want to be high. He just want to be among the number of.
So have courage to even do something. Pharmacists, really, does it really are you in the right place to even answer that? Cannabis have health benefits, first of all.
Yeah, just like we said, it has health benefits, and you use it to treat pains. Or that they have the benefits. That is where we are concerned. The medicals are concerned. but it's the other way around.
The abuse of
they are
it.
abusing it. Just all what we need to tell them is just the effects that you come down. You see, some of our children now, they start taking it. Some of them are taking it because they want to get high, they want to be connected.
Some sense inspiration.
Yeah,
when
they want to be
take it,
connected.
they will be
very high,
inspired.
and they can do whatever they want to do. They can go there, rape girls, and they forget that when you are doing that, they might end up in jail and they will not achieve their.
Consequences.
Okay, you were talking.
They will be there.
Okay.
They will not
Okay.
achieve.
You were talking about the benefits. So, that's the production. Let them leave the production and everything to the experts. Everybody have their own. That's why God made us that you have the doctor, the pharmacist, the broadcaster, everybody. So I won't delve into broadcasting, for example. That's their own area. So if they should not become pharmacists, let them leave that for us to do. We will know how to package it, formulate it into tablets or whatever for their benefit. But they are now taking they are now self-doctors, self-pharmacists. That's the problem. You are not doing self-medication. And when you become your own doctor and your own pharmacist, the consequences are too, because you don't have knowledge as much as the other people. So that's the point I will make. Yes, it has benefit, but let the formulation be left for those people that are experts to do it for your own benefit later. But all that normally I don't know, human beings, some of us, we are always looking for some people are always looking for the other side of anything. Let's look for the positive side and follow the positive side for our health.
Like if I'm a psychiatric, when he came, he said some of these drugs, when you take it for the first time, you just I felt good. Maybe I'm going for a job interview, or I'm going to address large pub gathering. I just found myself, I was bored, and after everything, people were just like clapping for me, giving me the accolades that I did well. And I remembered, I took something before I came on stage, and the person will start taking that. Before you know, you get addicted, and when you get addicted, it becomes dangerous. So first of all, before we continue, don't just involve yourself. There are other ways you can build yourself without taking substance to get courage for anything. Apart from we the Christians, say you can talk to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit can keep you high.
Exactly.
He said Holy Spirit can high you if you talk to the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Then for those of us that are not in Christ, you can work on yourself. You have the ability to work on yourself. That's by the wayside. Let's come back.
It just occurred to me. I said when they are taking it, they want to be high. What if one day, then we're at the middle of that, they are, bold, and the thing goes away, then you come back to yourself, you disgrace yourself, So instead, just be yourself. All right.
And you know that when they get high and they get addicted to that drugs, they don't have money again. They start looking for money everywhere. That's why you see them robbing,
doing everything,
going everywhere to attack people to get money so that they can buy those drugs. It's expensive. They are not able to save. Every money they have put it in that drug. Wherever they can get, they can kill just to get money to get it.
All right, thank you for that. Let's come back to we're talking about substance abuse. Sometimes we interchange it, substance abuse, drug abuse, but they told us there's a difference on that. Yes, but for the conversation, we're talking about substance abuse in any way you're talking about, and the roles of mother in ensuring that these substances are not abused within the family circle. Dr. Caroline, most children are depressed.
Yeah.
A lot of children are going through one challenges or the other, which the parents are not aware. Hence, when you see them withdrawn, there are other friends outside. That's the peer pressure we're talking about. We give them. So, what can the mothers do to ensure that these children, they're in high spirits and they don't need to be down in order to indulge in substance abuse?
That's what I said before when we were talking earlier on.
Please reiterate it.
I said some parents are too busy. They are too busy chasing after other things, and the most basic thing, that's the one that God gave them, their children, they forget about it. That's why I said you should, from birth, start observing them, follow up, find out, know their mood, know when they are down. Because, like I gave the story of that girl that committed suicide, that was being raped by the uncle for years. But the parents did not notice that she was withdrawn and moody. You will see they will be withdrawn, moody, unkempt. Their performance in school will drop. You will see many things. So if you are careful, you should be friendly to your children. They should be able to tell you everything. Even start educating them on sex education. I always say, from you tell them the names of those things. Don't say pom pom.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them vagina is vagina, penis is penis. But when the teachers, the school teachers or their lesson teachers start touching them, they will tell you, teacher touched me, not pom pom. Tell them all these things so that they will tell you everything instead of going to meet their friends. Let me give you a story of one. She was that she didn't. The mother did not tell her anything about menstruation. So she now took solace with her friend, and so when she started menstruating, she asked the friend, I've started seeing blood. Then the friend now told that if you want the blood to stop, then you go meet with a man. And he met with a man, and the blood stopped. That means she got pregnant. It was only then the mother got to know. So the mother was regretting, said, if only I had tutored her. You know, that's why I said teach. If you had tutored her what it takes as from 10, 11, 12 years, you'll be menstruating. This is what you do, how to keep yourself, and how to stay away from boys. Maybe she wouldn't have been pregnant. But because the mother was not there for her, she got advice from outside. That's why I said advice are trained. The A there is advice. You advise your child, especially the girl child. Very important. And so she got the advice from outside, peer group, and she got the wrong advice. So tell me your friends, I always say, and I will tell you who you are. So parents, find out the friends. You should know your children's friends now. Know who they are. Go to their rooms once. I still repeat, go to their rooms once in a while. Look at their back. You'll be shocked. Even what they watch. There's one that pornography. It's short. All these drugs lead to so many things. It's just like a repo. Just drop it. Starts with the drug. From there, it starts forming repos. And before you know it, you'll be seeing another child. Now, above all, when you have tried everything, then I always say you pray. Because God is the owner and the giver of the child.
Okay, talking about these depressed children we have everywhere, and these days you see them, they are easily depressed. Maybe in those days, the children they do one or two things. They play in the neighborhood. They go to the Johnson's home. They eat there. They go to the next house. But these days you see them in the confine of their own bedroom. They don't even come out from their balcony to greet somebody. So, sir, talking about depressed children, how can parents help to ensure that these children don't get to this level when they will not desire drugs to make them happy?
Well, we have to first of all clear the issue that it should not be available. One, the parents too have to be knowledgeable about the issues we are talking about, drug abuse. If you are not knowledgeable, you have nothing to give to anybody. And the children too themselves, majority of our parents, especially mothers, they've lost trust. When a child does not trust you, the child will not tell you anything. And as I always tell parents, if you refuse to tell the children the truth, the right thing, somebody else will tell them the wrong thing. And that is what they take. My children used to, it's not embarrassment, they used to tell me when they were younger. Yes, grandma would speak, they said, no, it's not so that that's not what auntie told us. So we have to just learn this thing. Let the parents be knowledgeable. Empowerment through knowledge is what we want to give to the parents. Let the parents be very close and know the stage of their children. Though some of the things I need to tell them, when fathers were giving birth to children, to babies, it was even difficult. Now babies are giving birth to babies. It's becoming much, much more difficult. God will help us. And the economy itself is terrible. We always look for alternative. We should not also only allow our children to be confined to our flat, locked everywhere. They should also have opportunity to play with interact with other children. And more also, interaction. You interact with people, you also know the type of children they're also interacting with. Know your neighbor somehow. It's not prognosing or wasabi. You should know it's an environment. Be your brother's keeper. It's a common thing. And if we don't start now, and Africa, for example, we are like brotherhood, brother's keeper. There are certain things that will happen in some other part of the world, they will just close their eye. But here, we want to be part of it. If you remember those, although I don't really enjoy it, you see parents building houses very close to each other. It's part of it. But now that it is not like that, I may be from Orion, building house in Ovia, and that, then know your neighbor. Your next neighbor become your next family. To avoid this depression, to avoid this problem that children are passing through. Tell them what is bad if I used to put my child in a private school where I pay 100,000 a term, and now I don't have the capacity. What is bad if I also call the child and say, hey, look, now let us go to court. I thank God for the government of the day. They are making most of the government schools look like private schools. If you go to Vino by St. Savior, it's just like a private school. Everything you needed in a private school are there. So you can take your children there so that we don't force this. And if the job is not there, you see, some of these things need to be planned. So when issue of hunger, common for family. Poverty don't die. You make some provisions, make sure that there is food at home, so that our children will not put eye where they are not supposed to be. That is how I look at it.
All right.
So that we can take care
Pharmacist
of this
Grace, talking about most of the drugs we hear, they are very, very expensive. Sometimes they will tell you that NDLEA, the drug was, when they evaluated the drug, it was like in billions, millions. What can government do to ensure that these high prices in drugs can be reduced to the barest minimum? Or if they reduce it, it becomes so bad? I don't know.
We want to even go higher.
That means most people would not be involved in the business. If it's so high, people will not be involved, and they will not be bringing in, trafficking in drugs. So how do we do this? If it's so low, people will not have it everywhere. Okay. So what can we do? What level can we get to ensure that this drug, we don't have it?
Just like my elder colleague said, there should be control.
Okay.
And then government will help to fight this issue. If the government is in support and there is control, I think the level we are talking about will be reduced. If there's a control, and then you know whether the rich or the poor cannot get it at a particular time, there must be a control, that it must be a reason why you must get it.
Okay, that's the control you're talking about, because I want to ask
control. So the rich and the poor have the same rights to get it if they want to get. That is that control. And then there must be a need why you need it, and then the consultants are ready to give when there is a need for it. And that's why we say when the benefit outweighs the risk, then it comes down to it. So if you don't have a need, I'm sure the doctor will not just write that prescription, say please go and take it. The pharmacist will not look at it and say, no, you just need this drug and give, because there's a need for it.
The costless cannot be cost. Yeah. When there is no cost, there is a cost for everything. It's not true that if you say so sometimes, it's not that they don't abuse or traffic in drug in rich countries, but if our people are also well taken care of, I mean our youth, because sometimes it's alternative. A plain group say, since you don't have a job, you are a university graduate, you have spent so many years in this school, don't have a job, see our route. That's what they are telling. This is small. If we are talking about government control, government should also look into this area. Look into the area, make provision. Employment.
Conducive environment.
There is so many jobs to be done. I have this problem, little problem, in the sense that anytime somebody tells me there is no money in this country, I felt a little bit uncomfortable. Because why are you telling me that? There are countries that do not even have anything, mineral resources. You see the way they are managed. Management is one of our problems. Our youth, they should be taken care of. If our people that are in concentration camp, refugee camp abroad, are giving money to buy a recharge card to phone their parents at home, I remember I'm a pastor. Somebody called me and said, they just gave me money to buy this thing. I'm saying you $100 out of the money they gave me to buy a recharge card in refugee camp and abroad. What is wrong with our own here? Yes, why is it that we cannot give it?
Okay, talking about this unemployment, kind of making potent this desire for substance abuse. Most of our young boys we see, they live well, they have good cars, but they are still into drugs. So I don't want to say it's poverty that makes some people want to go into drugs, because some of them, they drive good cars, they live well, but they still take something, they still abuse drugs. So what is the cause of that?
That is because they are already addicted to it.
Okay.
They are already addicted to it, so they can't leave it. Even when they now try to leave, the system will not allow them to leave it.
It's harder to leave than. So don't even, as you said, don't
so
even
when
enter.
you start. If you start, you continue. But for you to leave it, it becomes a problem. Even when you want to leave, your system will not allow you to leave.
All right.
So it's better you don't even do it.
Also, as you were saying, some of them are frustrated. We're talking about government providing. Yes, that's on one hand. But some of them are frustrated. But what I would tell them that in this country we have opportunities. It's just for you to solve. It's about meeting people's needs and solving problems. Just look for something that if government does not work, if you cannot get a job, if you have a good idea, that is the mental idea. That's don't have some. Maybe look at the street. In the whole street, not this thing is not here. I will start selling. I'm giving example Akara. Some people too is the pride. They hold me. How can I? If I look at the whole street, no akara, I call my anointed akara, for example, and I start frying akara and I package it well.
Bean cake.
Yes, bean cake, special anointed bean cake, well packaged. You know, everything is in packaging. I will make money. So some of the youths, some of them really effort, but some are just lazy. They don't let them think. Oh, okay, the government does not give me a job. What else can I do? That's my own take in all these things. When you've tried, or you get an idea and do it, and you see yourself making more money.
All right, Pastor John Osifo, the roles of traditional rulers, because most of these drugs, like talking about cannabis, we have the farms in most of these remote villages. What can the traditional rulers do to ensure that they reduce the plantation of drugs and at the same time the intake of it?
Traditional rulers, they are part of government. I think they have this little issue. They have not been properly sensitized.
Okay.
And not very put through. Some of the traditional rulers don't even know their role. Even though we don't even know their role. Sometimes they just believe it's just selling land as NC. It's not just selling land as NC. Some of this, when the government take their program to the same traditional rulers and let it sink, prepare them for it, they will be able to tell you what is happening in their community. They have, seriously, they have.
Do you have the traditional rulers in your committee?
We don't have one though.
Okay, so and so you just have to take it back to them because they need to be part of that committee. Because most of these villages that we have cannabis, they just need to be part of it, and so that we can help control.
But I'd like to also add that they don't need to be in the committee before we can push it to them too.
Okay, can take it to them. Yes. All right, let's see from you, Dr. Caroline, religious circle. What can the pastors, the imams, what can they do to ensure that with the children don't abuse drugs and whatever?
I think they should teach them as the scripture says. It says, as I said, train up a child in the way he should go. Then the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. If they have the fear of God, I think they won't do some things that they are doing. So the pastors, the imams, or wherever, anywhere you have opportunity to preach to your congregation, tell them about what God like that. We are the temple. I repeat, we are the temple of the living God. So we should not buy and sell or defile this temple with drugs, sexual immorality, and all other injurious activities, so that we will present ourselves. God looks at us and we see us that we are body, soul, and spirit. We are pure. That's what I will advocate for the pastor. And the pastor, they say, should live by example. So if you are telling them, Bible said, if you are saying don't take drugs, make sure you yourself too, you are not doing those things.
You are not high.
You are not high.
Now they will be thinking that
it's
the Holy Ghost.
Spirit that is making you. That's only the Holy Spirit that is making you to be high.
I think our committee has also reached somehow our committee during the course of the year. We went to some churches. Okay. We also went to some mosques, especially when we were getting close to celebrating International Drug-Free Day. We went to some mosques, we went to some churches to sensitize them and to. I think the committee has a program on that in this coming year to reach many churches.
Right. Pharmacist Grace, what can government do to help the Pharmaceutical Association to ensure that substance abuse is reduced? Yes. What are your challenges right now? What can government do to help?
Logistic. We need to move around. We need to go to these rural areas. We need to tell them about this drug abuse. But how do we do it? Fund. We don't have it. But all these things involve fund. We need to tell people. We need to go to churches, just like you said. We have most of our youth in the church. You see them when they want on Sunday. They are all there. Now we need to make the pastors aware so that they can help us, collaborating with the pastors of the church, to teach the youth on this drug abuse. But all we need is the government need to empower, especially the pharmacists, so that we can be in the forefront.
All right, thank you so much for this. And we'll talk about mothers. I want you to just give Dr. Caroline, this is for you. Just advise mothers briefly that are listening to us right now.
Be friendly with your children. Be your child's friend, very good friend. And when you are a friend to somebody, like God said, will I hide this thing from Abraham, my friend? The children will not hide anything from you. And when they don't hide anything from you, you will get information, and that will help you, know at a particular time what your children are passing through, and you can curb it so that the person would not lead to suicide. Like that story of that girl. I always talk about that
And
story.
you parents that are indulging in buy me this pencil and edges, just give me that small sachet that way, sending the kids, stop it. Unknowingly to you, are introducing them to these dangers. Stop it. If you just have to do it very far from there. If you have to, if you want to kill yourself, just kill yourself secretly, as against bringing others to die with you. We're looking at substance and drug abuse in the society, the roles of mothers in ensuring that substance abuse is reduced drastically in our society. We have John Osifo, is a member Edo State Drug Control Committee. Thank you, sir, for your thoughts this morning.
Good to be here.
All right. Dr. Mrs. Caroline Olumese, thank you so much for your thoughts this morning. And we have Mrs. Grace Erume. She is a chairperson, Association of Lady Pharmacists, Edo State. Grateful. That's the show this morning. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Josephine Eimihe. Do have a blissful day ahead.
EBS TV, television reloaded.